Hi guys, welcome back to Calcfly videos. In this video, we're going to be mentioning about another integration shortcut method that is going to be very useful for everybody. Alright, it's gonna just blow your mind with this method. Alright, so this is the integral form that we need to see. So ax plus b over, so this bottom, the expression in the denominator should be an polynomial expression. So in order for us to apply this method, this bottom expression in the denominator should be factored into linear factors. So as long as we can check that it's going to be factored into linear factors, so we can apply the shortcut method. Here we go. So let's get started. Okay, so when I look at this definite integral, 2x minus 1 over x minus 1 times x plus 2 times x minus 3. So as you may notice that the expression in the denominator is already factored into linear factors. So basically it's already made our job easy. Okay, so now the next thing we need to follow these steps. The first step is set every factor equal to 0 and solve. So basically I'm going to set x minus 1 equal to 0 and solve it. We got x equals 1. Then set x plus 2 equal to 0, so we got x equals negative 2. Then set x minus 3 equal to 0, and we got x equals negative x positive 3. Alright, so this is the first step. The second step is plug in x values into the given expression, avoiding the linear factor. So what I mean is, if I plug in x equals 1 into this indefinite integral, I'm going to ignore x minus 1, this linear factor. Okay, and step 3, multiply the result. So multiply the result by natural log linear factor. Alright, here's how it goes. I'm going to show it to you. So let's get started. Okay, so when we look at the first problem, we've already set all the factors equal to 0, and we got this x values. So let's move on to the second step. What was the second step? It says that plug in x values, ignoring the factor, linear factor, specific linear factor. Okay, so let's rewrite it again. X equals 1, x equals negative 2, and x equals 3. So let's do that. So this integral is going to be equal to, if I plug in x equals 1 into this definite integral, ignoring the linear factor, in this case x minus 1, it's going to be equal to 2 times 1 minus 1 over 1 plus 2 times 1 minus 3, and times ln, natural log of the linear factor, which is x minus 1. Alright, let's move on to x equals negative 2. 2 times negative 2 minus 1 over negative 2 minus 1 times negative 2 minus 3, and times natural log x plus 2, which is the linear factor. I'm going to continue over here. Plus, we're going to move on to x equals 3, so 2 times 3 minus 1 over 3 minus 1 times 3 plus 2 times linear factor x minus 3, and at the end we're going to put plus c. So let's simplify. So I'm going to continue from here. So 2 times 1 is 1, 2 times 1 is 2, 2 minus 1 is 1, so 1 over 1 plus 2 is 3, so it's going to be negative 1 over 6 times natural log x minus 1, okay, and plus, the second thing is going to be equal to, so this is going to be equal to actually minus, okay, so that's going to be equal to negative 4 over 15 after you simplify times natural log x plus 2, alright, and plus 1/2 times natural log x minus 3 and plus c. So that's the solution to the given indefinite integral. Normally you can apply the partial fraction method, but it's going to take at least 3 to 4 minutes to bring this integral down. Okay? Alright, let's move on to the second problem. In this second problem, as you may notice that the expression in the denominator is not factored into the linear factor. So our first step to do this. Okay, so let me use different color. So we get definite integral x squared plus 4 over. So if I factor this expression, first I'm going to factor out of x. So we get 3x squared plus 4x minus 4 dx. Then I'm going to try to factor this quadratic. So we got x squared plus 4 over x times. So this quadratic can be factored into 3x minus 2. I'm not going to go into detail. It's coming from the algebra 2 skills times x plus 2 dx. So now we finally managed to factor this denominator into linear factors. So now we can apply the method. So we're going to set every factor equal to 0. So x equals 0, x equals 2/3, and x equals -2. Then let's move on to the second step. We're going to plug in the x values and evaluate, avoiding the linear factor. So this definite integral is going to be equal to 0 squared plus 4 over 0 times, we're not going to put 0 because we need to avoid it, okay? So that's going to be equal to 0 squared plus 4 over 3 times 0 minus 2 times 0 plus 2 times the linear factor, which is ln natural log x. And plus, let's move on to 2/3. So that's going to be equal to 2 over 3 squared plus 4 over 2/3 times, I'm going to avoid this factor, so it's going to be 2/3 plus 2, and times natural log of the linear factor, which is 3x minus 2. Then I'm going to continue over here, plus, we're going to use -2, so it's going to be -2 squared plus 4 over -2 times 3 times -2 minus 2, and I'm going to avoid this factor, and times natural log of the linear factor, which is x plus 2. So now, after this step, it's just a matter of simplifying the entire expression. So for that, I'm going to continue over here. Okay, I'm going to continue over here. So it's going to be equal to the first part. On top we have just 4 over, at the bottom 3 times 0 is 0 minus 2 and times 2, so it's going to be -4 times natural log x, and plus 2/3 squared is going to be equal to 4 over 9 plus 4 over 2/3 times, it's going to be equal to 8 over 3 times the linear factors 3x minus 2, and plus -2 squared is 4, 4 plus 4 is 8, divided by, so 2 times, so -2 times, 3 times -2 is -6 minus 2, it's going to be -8 times natural log of x plus 2 plus c. Alright, let's go one more step into simplifying this expression, but before that I need to clean up this bottom part so we can create a more space for us. So 4 divided by -4 is -1, so it's going to be -ln x plus. So 4 over 9 plus 4 is going to be equal to 40 over 9. So let's quickly simplify that. 40 over 9 times 9 over 16, which simplifies. This is 5, this is 2. Okay, so it's going to be 5 over 2. So the 5 over 2 times natural log of 3x minus 2, and so right here negative times negative will be positive, and these two 8's are going to be cancelled, so it's going to be 1/2 times natural log of x plus 2 and plus. Alright, so this is the most simplified solution. Alright guys, in this method we've talked about this shortcut method, but one of the things that we need to be very careful about is the denominator has to be factored into linear factors. As long as we verify that, we can apply this method. Alright, if you already enjoyed watching this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, and share. Bye bye.